Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl. She wore a beautiful red cape that her grandma had made for her. People called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother said, "Your grandma is very sick. Take this bread and cheese to her. And remember, stay on the path." Little Red Riding Hood set off to her grandma's house. Granny lived on the other side of the forest. As Little Red Riding Hood was going through the woods, a wolf jumped out from behind a tree. "Hello," said the wolf. "Where are you going?" "I am going to see my grandma because she is sick," said Little Red Riding Hood. The wolf looked at her and said, "See these pretty flowers? Why not pick some for your grandma?" "What a good idea," said Little Red Riding Hood. And she skipped from the path to start picking flowers. Then the wolf ran to Grandma's house and knocked on the door. Knock, knock. "Who is there?" asked Grandma. "Little Red Riding Hood," said the wolf. Grandma whispered, "Come in. I am too ill to come to the door." The wolf let himself in and ate poor Granny up. He put on her nightgown and nightcap. He jumped into Granny's bed and pulled the covers over his nose. After a while, Little Red Riding Hood came joyfully to her granny's house and knocked on the door. Knock, knock. The wolf answered, "Little Red Riding Hood." "Come in, come in." Little Red Riding Hood was very surprised when she saw her grandmother's. "Granny, why do you have those big ears?" she asked. "All the better to hear you with," the wolf answered. "And why do you have those big eyes?" continued Little Red Riding Hood. "All the better to see you with," said the wolf. "And what about those big sharp teeth?" Little Red Riding Hood carried on. "All the better to eat you with," shouted the wolf, and with a jump, he ate Little Red Riding Hood up. "Yummy," he said and patted his large tummy. But the wolf didn't know that a hunter was just passing by. The hunter heard a scream and ran into Granny's house, just in time to see the wolf patting his tummy. "You bad wolf! Spit out Little Red Riding Hood and her granny," said the wolf with a big knife. Frightened, the wolf spat Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother out of his belly and ran out the house quickly. Little Red Riding Hood and her granny thanked the brave hunter. There was no end to their joy.